All right, welcome. We're going to talk about discipline today, but not the kind you see on social media, that perfect, super intimidating version. Nope, we're breaking down what real, achievable discipline actually looks like, especially when you're in the middle of that beautiful chaos of being a parent. Okay, so let's start by looking at the two completely different worlds of discipline. On one hand, you've got the book version. You know the one. It's all about perfection, flawless execution, and these super rigid rules. But then there's the life version. And that's the one that's actually going to work. It's built on repetition, on the simple act of coming back to it, and maybe most importantly, on flexibility. So first up, let's just bust the myth wide open, shall we? We're talking about that perfect, flawless version of discipline that we see all over Instagram. You know, the one that can make us feel like we're just failing all the time. I mean, when someone says discipline, these are the images that pop into our heads, right? Waking up at 5 a.m., hitting the gym every single day, never spending a dime you don't have to, and, of course, impeccable organization. It's this all or nothing ideal that, let's be honest, for most of us feels totally overwhelming and just not realistic. But what if that whole ideal is just the wrong goal? I mean, what if the real power of discipline has absolutely nothing to do with perfection? Let's explore a much more freeing and way more effective idea, focusing on repetition instead. Here's the truth. Real discipline doesn't look like it does in a book or on some influencer's perfect feed. It is messy, just like real life is messy. You know, it shows up even when you're exhausted. It bends when things get complicated. It's not about being some kind of robot. It's just about being consistent. And this is the absolute key right here. It all comes down to repetition. See, real discipline isn't about hitting 100% every single day. No way. It's about celebrating the day you only manage, say, 20% of what you wanted to do. It's about having a total 0% day and still having the grit to come back and try again tomorrow. That's the whole game. And this brings us right to the heart of it. True discipline isn't about building some kind of unbreakable, rigid walls so you never mess up. It's about your willingness to get back up every single time you fall. The real strength is found in the return. So what does this actually look like in the real world, in the chaotic, demanding, and pretty wonderful world of parenting? How does this idea of the return actually apply when you are just running on empty? See, discipline in a parent's life isn't about these huge, grand gestures. It's found in the small, almost invisible moments. It's choosing to save a tiny bit of money when it feels impossible. It's taking that one deep breath before you react, or just finding 10 minutes for yourself. These small actions, these are the true building blocks of a discipline that actually lasts. It is so important to remember this. Your journey, your energy, your priorities, they're unique to you. So it only makes sense that your discipline is going to look different too. It's not supposed to be picture perfect. It's supposed to look like your life. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually start building this kind of flexible, resilient discipline? Well, let's break down a really simple 4-step framework that can help you get there. This framework is honestly so powerful. So step 1, that's about making it easy. Start so small you can't possibly fail. Step 2, that's where the real magic happens, when you show up on the days you really don't want to. Step 3, this is the secret sauce, self-compassion. That's what fuels your ability to keep coming back. And finally, step 4 is all about connecting these little habits to who you want to be. It's about progress, not punishment. And this brings us to such a key idea, linking your actions to your identity. When you do this, the habit becomes so much stronger. You're no longer just, trying to save money. You are a responsible person who saves. You're not trying to be more patient. You are a present parent. It completely transforms a chore into an expression of who you really are. So what is the big takeaway from all of this? Well, it's really about shifting your entire perspective on what progress and discipline even mean. It's not a race. It's not a sprint. I love this metaphor because it's so freeing. A marathon is all about intensity, a finish line, this one spectacular performance. But a long walk, that's about endurance. It's about direction. It's just about putting one foot in front of the other day after day. It takes all the pressure off and instead celebrates just moving forward, no matter how slowly. And that is really the ultimate lesson here, isn't it? Your efforts, they don't have to be beautiful. They don't have to be Instagram-worthy. They just have to be constant. Consistency will always,
always win out over short bursts of intensity.
So we're going to end with this question for you to really think about. Forget the big, grand plans for just a second. What is the one tiny habit, the action so small you can't talk yourself out of it, that you can start today? Because that's where real, lasting change always begins, not with a giant leap, but with a single small step.